share. I just want to make sure you all can see what I'm seeing, right? Okay, awesome. All right, so like Louisa said, thank you so much for having me. My name is Katie Rinke. I am the Associate Director of College Transition Programs and the Navigator Prep Coordinator here at Beacon College. Like she said, we are located in Leesburg, Florida. We are about an hour from the Orlando airport, so if this is helpful for you, we're an hour from Orlando. We have really great access to all of the fun things that Orlando has to offer, which I'll kind of talk about throughout with our activities and our Summer for Success program. But what I would like to kind of cover today are three different things. I'm going to talk about our full-time enrollment here at Beacon, and then I will talk about two of our transition programs, one being our Summer for Success program and one being our Navigator Prep program. And like Louisa mentioned, we do have a current student that just came from Cove. He's a freshman with us. And so I'm told that he's doing pretty well, which is great. So it shows that your students are successful here at Beacon, which is awesome for us to see. So we're going to go ahead and talk about our degree programs. We offer 7 degrees here at Beacon. We do primarily offer bachelor's degrees, but if a student wants to come to us for their associate, they obviously are welcome to do that. A lot of students, if they choose to only stay with us for 2 years, it's because maybe we don't offer the major that they want moving forward. And so they come, get a taste of college life, complete their 2-year degree, and then might go elsewhere. But our 7 degrees are listed here. I'm happy to answer questions about specific majors, but our most popular and our newest major is actually anthrozoology. And so a lot of our students really love their engagement in the anthrozoology program. We've got just under 100 of our 450 students enrolled in that program. So that is the study of how humans and animals interact. And so students are really excited about this program and really love to engage in our labs where our animals are and things like that. Business management, you have 2 opportunities through business management. Our typical business management track, one of our head professors for that, his name is Mike Fallon, and he does a phenomenal job of kind of covering human resources, but also what does it look like to actually manage? What does entrepreneurship look like? How do we engage appropriately with clients, but also with our staff? All of those different types of things, and really helps them engage in the internship process as well. And then being near Orlando, right, have a lot of great opportunities for our hospitality students. And so our hospitality students are looking at, how do I manage events? How do I manage a hotel, a restaurant, tourism in general? And then I think their favorite class, which I can understand, is the cruise management class. So they actually learn how to manage a cruise, and then they go on a cruise together. So that's really fun for our students. Terry Hunter is our head of the program there, and they're always very excited about what's happening in that class. So also, like I mentioned, a lot of great internship opportunities just based on our location. We've had a few students in the past that have engaged in the college program at Disney and have really loved that as well. Computer information systems, again, we have 2 tracks. The simple way for me to describe them is the computer information systems track is what happens behind the scenes. So they learn how to build a computer, they learn all of the coding languages and all of those types of things. And then the web and digital media is what you see when you log onto a computer. So they obviously learn some coding, but design and all of those types of things. So our students in the computer information systems also really engaged. We'll talk about internships a little bit later too, but a big one for this group is we have a partnership with Dell, and so they can actually go to Dell and work for them, and Dell's goal is for them to engage in a positive way in their interaction or during their internships, and then actually be able to be offered a full-time job. And so we've had that going for a few years, and it normally does turn out in the student's favor to be offered a full-time job, which is awesome. Our human services track, human services is kind of what it sounds like, right? How can we serve humans in our community? So if you're thinking about being a social worker, being part of some sort of 501c3 organization, working with maybe the Department of Children and Family Services, a lot of our students work as some of them go to be parole officers, some of them go to be police officers, but anything you can think of as a helping hand in the community, our students engage in that way. And then for, it kind of goes hand in hand in psychology. A lot of students will major in one and minor in the other. So psychology, a lot of our students from the psychology program are looking to then go on to graduate school. So they do a lot of preparation for graduate level work through that as well. Humanities, we're looking at English, philosophy, history, kind of as their three main areas that they can kind of focus on. And then studio arts. So studio arts, they will do ceramics, painting, drawing, sculpture. They learn how to weld. My favorite is when they do stained glass. That's really fun. So there's a lot going on in these different programs. Academic services, I think that this is typically the reason that families come to us, right? Where we kind of stand out. And so the Center for Student Success is our hub of academic support. We have learning specialists that your student would meet with once per week. They would have an hour as a freshman with their learning specialist, and that would give them the opportunity to kind of work on those executive functioning skills. So are we keeping up with our homework? You know, what are our grades looking like? Remembering to check that things are being graded and submitted successfully in the right way. Making sure that you know how to break down larger assignments, engaging with them about how do I talk to a professor, right? Maybe if they've been at Cove School and had the same teachers over and over, or just familiar faces, it's a big transition to talking to a college professor. So utilizing your learning specialists to help you do that if you need to. Also just having a go-to resource. So if you're not sure who to go to, you can go and ask them. They also refer out for students. So if we think that there's some mental health concerns going on, they'll refer out to our on-campus counselors. They'll refer to our life skills educators if students are struggling with hygiene, something like that. So really just making sure that students get the support that they need. If we're looking for information about a student, we're going to ask their learning specialist first because they see them the most and most consistently. Learning specialists also oversee open learning, which is our supported study time. And that happens 5 days a week. It happens Monday through Thursday and then also on Saturdays. But there's always learning specialists there to support students while they're doing work. And then they also oversee the peer tutors. So there's peer tutors that will come in during that open learning time. And there's the supported and overseen by the learning specialists. In addition to our Center for Student Success, so we have our math lab. So we use a program called ALEKS, it's ALEKS, through McGraw-Hill. And that is an artificial intelligence program where students will come in, take a test. That way we can see what they know about math, and then they'll have a class actually created based on what they already know and what they need to learn. And so our math lab has 4 professors that are dedicated to it. We know that math for many of our students is the high anxiety subject that they're not super excited about. So we have only 12 students in each class with 2 professors. So it is capped to 12 students, 2 professors, no matter what, for our math class. Our writing center is just like any other writing center at a college across the US. We're open Monday through Saturday, so 6 days a week. 4 full-time writing consultants, and then 4 peer mentor consultants as well. So some students prefer to start with a peer and then move on to a professional. It just kind of depends on what their comfort is, but they'll help at any point in the writing process, whether that's brainstorming or just editing at the end. They do not work on content, so they will not help fill in gaps, but if they read and they're like, hey, this doesn't make sense, you're missing something here, they'll absolutely have that conversation with a student. Our writing center professionals are really excited about writing. They get really excited about making sure you understand your grammar and things like that. So they work really hard to send your student out into the world as a better writer than they came into us. So that's really great. And then we provide automatic accommodations at Beacon. So there's not a special accommodations process that you have to go through. That's why we ask for your proof of a learning difference at admission time. So Our automatic accommodations are here on the screen, but this is something that all students will receive. We know that at other colleges, only about 20% of students will identify that they have a learning disability. So that means that they'll get accommodations, but if you don't identify typically, you don't receive those. So we do them across the board because we know it's support that our students need. And then in addition to this, if there's something like a sight impairment or something like that, that we would just work through on a student by student basis. But coming to Beacon, these are the automatic accommodations that will be built into your curriculum. Okay, so that was a lot about inside of the classroom. I'm happy to answer questions, but also just put them in the chat and I can do them at the end as well, whatever you prefer, Louisa.
Well, you could answer one about studio arts.
Okay.
Does it include like music program, composing, or?
No, so it's just like, not that music's not art, but just like the hands-on, the ceramics, drawing, painting, those types of things, not music or theater.
Right. Okay.
Good question.
Another parent wondered if there was any instruction or inclusion of life skills, like independent living type of skills or financial management.
Yes, so part of that falls under life outside of the classroom. So we have life skills educators, which I mentioned. So if students are struggling with something and we notice that, we will definitely like intervene. We have someone that can teach them how to do laundry or how to clean a bathroom if that's what they need. We're kind of keeping a pulse on that through their learning specialists, because like I said, they see them the most consistently. So they will definitely reach out to that person to receive help. There's also just general programming that happens through our housing and our student activities personnel that address different independent living skills development areas. And then there was another question you asked me and I don't remember what it was.
Well,
about financial management.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're actually doing a financial management series this semester through Student Life, but they also have a financial management class that you can take as an elective through business management. So you can take that personal finances class even if you're not a business management major. A lot of our students choose to do that in the end of their freshman year or the beginning of their sophomore year.
Great. Okay, I'll hold the other question till the end.
Okay, great. So then life outside of the classroom. So life outside of the classroom, again, looks very typical for a college student, right? We have residence life, which coming from out of state, you would live in a residence hall. So the picture on the right is of Rapp Hall, which is one of our 2 freshman residence halls. And the majority of our freshmen actually get single bedrooms. So they can opt to have a bedroom on their own. They can close the door. They have 3 or 4 other pod mates is what we call them. We call them pods, but 3 to 4 other suite mates, roommates that they just share a small living area with and their bathroom with. So they can have their own bedroom at night to kind of relax and close the door to study if they need, but they're in a suite or a pod with other students so that they can engage in that way. They also are provided their dining, especially when they're living in the freshman residence halls because they don't have an in-suite kitchen. We offer 19 meals a week, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Friday, and then brunch and dinner on Saturday and Sunday. We find our students just are not up as early on the weekend as college students. And our dining facility is actually brand new, so just opened on August 15th of 2021. So opened on opening day for us. Our students are really excited about the pizza oven. I guess it is substantially better than the pizza used to be. So they're excited about that, but it's brand new and it's beautiful in there. And the food's really good. So the students are enjoying that for sure. And then I've mentioned student activities. There's evening and weekend events. So evening events typically happen on campus. So that financial management series is happening. There's a scary movie night tonight for students. On Saturday, there's a fall festival for like 6 hours that they're doing, and then Halloween movies. So there's always kind of something going on campus. And then on weekend activities, so what day is it? It's Tuesday, so Friday for Halloween, they're going to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. So they're doing all sorts of things. They took them to some sort of volunteer event off campus 2 weeks ago, and they've gone on a couple events on our holiday days. And so they typically do weekend activities either at the beach or local theme parks, things like that. And then student organizations, we have about 30 clubs that run every semester. Our most popular, which I'm sure is not a shock, is our video game club, and then our equestrian club. So one of our learning specialists actually has a ranch and has horses out there, and we'll take students out there to learn how to care for the horses, ride them. They have bonfires out there, so a lot of fun for that club as well. And then sports and fitness, we do have an on-campus gym. It's actually the old train station here at Beacon or in Leesburg. So it's now our gym, and they have intramural and club sports. Our biggest thing that's coming up, our students are practicing for, is the student versus staff kickball game. The kickball game is like super, super popular. They make shirts and all that kind of stuff. And so the students say they've won the last 12 games. The faculty don't agree. They think they cheat, but that's okay. The students can win. So they do a lot of intramural and club sports. Obviously, they can go to the gym. We have a personal trainer that's free for students. He's actually a Beacon alumni that's certified in personal training. And so students can sign up to work out with Bill. There's fitness classes like Zumba, PiYo, those types of things. And then they also do weekend activities. So they might take them kayaking locally. They do a camping trip in the spring, all sorts of things that they might do on the weekends. So something that obviously varies a little bit for every school is the scholarship availability. And so there are a lot of opportunities for scholarships. We do accept FAFSA. The one big thing, whether you're considering Beacon or not, is there is a website called raise.me, and your student starting from freshman year through senior year can sign up for that. Louisa's shaking her head, so hopefully that means everyone signed up for it. But they can earn up to $8,000 a year, $32,000 for their time at Beacon. They sign up for raise.me. And so if you take part in that, they just fill out their grades, what kinds of things they're involved in. If you come on campus for a tour, you get money that goes toward that. If you participate in Navigator Prep or Summer for Success, you get money that goes towards that. And so that is a really great opportunity. There's 200 to 300 different colleges on there. So I would definitely encourage you to take a look. And then I'm sure if your student asks Louisa nicely, she'll fill out this referral form that gets your student $1,000. So that's sort of our full-time programming. I'm going to talk about Summer for Success and Navigator Prep briefly, and then I'll answer all questions. So Summer for Success is a 3-week college immersion experience. There is no commitment to Beacon after this 3-week experience. They come, they get to take classes, they join a club, we do independent living skill development, they live in the residence hall that you saw a picture of. They get to go on the weekends to places like Universal and Disney, SeaWorld, those types of things. We also do like Dave & Buster's, bowling, all that kind of stuff. So we keep them busy. They're busy from like 8 a.m. or to 10 p.m. So it's a long day for them, but it will be 3 weeks in July. So it'll be July 10th through 29th. And students who have completed their sophomore, junior, or senior year. So they're going to be juniors, seniors, or heading to college. They can be a part of this. I would highly recommend that you take advantage. The application for this did just open, and we're already getting a lot of interest. So if you're interested in this at all, please, by all means, go ahead and sign up for it, or send me an email and I'm happy to talk about it more. It'll be July 10th through 29th of this year. And then our last program is called Navigator Prep. So Navigator Prep is a transition-based program for juniors and seniors. And this is virtual, happens one-on-one and group-based. So if your student is a junior in high school right now, the junior program is geared to help you find colleges that will be the right fit for your student and your family. So that is the goal of that program. That program starts in February of 2022. And then the Navigator Prep senior, the typical Navigator program is for seniors or people who are transitioning from a community college to a different college. And we're going to work on your executive functioning skills, emotional regulation, social skills, independent living skills, and your learning difference awareness. So we're going to touch on those 5 topics. We get to work with the students twice per month, one-on-one, the parents once per month, one-on-one, and then there's group-based learning for students and parents, and then a social opportunity where they get to meet students around the country. And really around the world, we have students that are international that have engaged with us. So that's something that I highly encourage your students to be a part of. This is something that if you choose to do the 9-month program, which starts in less than a month, it starts on November 15th. If you were to do the 9-month program with us and sign up for Raise Me and attend Beacon, you would get your tuition for Navigator Prep covered and plus some back over time in scholarships. So the 9-month program, if you're applying to Beacon, is $3,500. If you're not applying to Beacon, it's $4,000. So that is something that you can engage in starting in November, February, or May. And you can go to any college across the US. You do not have to come to Beacon. And then these are our next opportunities for you to visit us, but I'll answer any questions that you have.
Great, thank you again. So one question about what you were just speaking of is what are the ages for Summer Success?
So Summer for Success, as long as you have just completed sophomore, junior, or senior year of high school.
Okay. So summer between sophomore, junior, or senior, or you can come after senior year.
Right, so if you're going into your junior year, into your senior year, or just completed your senior year.
Okay, okay, great. And then can you share any careers that students have entered into after leaving Beacon? Like, do you keep track of your alumni?
We do. We have actually a booklet that I could send you if you wanted me to, Lisa, but we have, it just kind of depends on what major you're looking at. So if there's a particular major, let me know. But we've had students go on to work at Dell after their internship. We have had students go back and work in local hotels and restaurants. We've had a couple of students go and work at national parks, which is really cool. We have a student that's working at a fish and bird conservatory down in Key West. We have a couple of students actually locally that have gone on to be parole officers. We just had 2 of our student ambassadors actually start grad school at Lynn University. So they're starting there, studying to be counselors. And actually our newest hire for our counseling department is a Beacon grad. She went off to grad school and then came back and is now serving her undergrad institution as a full-time mental health counselor. So obviously there are multiple more examples, but those are some great ones.
That's great. Thank you. And then someone wanted one more time the fees, the all-in, the tuition and fees.
Okay, so for full-time enrollment right now, it's $58,000, including room and board. So including housing and food, $58,000 before scholarships.
Great, great. Okay. Any other questions before we thank Katie and let her go on with her day? How's the weather down there?
Not bad. We have a cold front coming through, so our high tomorrow is going to be like 84. It's a cold front for us, but it's good.
All right. Well, ours is a little colder, so.
Yes, I'm sure.
Well, we thank you again so much for your time and for your expertise. And if you would be willing to share your presentation, I would take that so that I can share that with people who want it. Financial aid. You talked about financial aid, didn't you?
Some, yeah. There are a lot of financial aid opportunities. My biggest recommendation is to go ahead and fill out the FAFSA. It's available for next year if you have a senior student. I would do the Raise.me opportunity because that's a merit-based scholarship. if you have VA benefits, if you have prepaid benefits, anything that you can find on Google or locally will accept. Really just any scholarship. We do have something called the Bright Minds Scholarship, hasn't been announced yet for next year, but you can earn up to $10,000 a year with that. And that's an essay scholarship through Beacon. We do institutional aid also. So we accept all sorts of things, but our director of financial aid is willing to meet with any family that's interested. So you can send me an email, I can connect her to you.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, Katie. It was nice to meet you, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get to come down, hopefully before the end of this school year to visit.
Yeah, great. Let me know if anyone has any questions. I'm happy to connect.
I will for sure. Thanks again for your time.
Not a problem. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye.